I'm Mark Pastrella, Director of Los Angeles County Public Works, with a message for residents affected by the devastating fires across Los Angeles County. For those of you who are still evacuated, I am so sorry for your loss and for your trouble during these times. It must be difficult to be displaced from your homes, and our hearts are with you during this challenging time. Rebuilding after a wildfire takes time, careful planning, and collaboration. My message to you from the state and local agencies involved in the recovery process is, you are not alone. I know you're eager to return to your homes and neighborhoods. We ask for your patience as affected roads and utilities are assessed and the safety of homes and other structures is determined. Once that work has been done, property owners will be allowed to return. I strongly urge you not to attempt to remove hazardous fire debris yourself. Post-fire debris can contain toxic materials, including asbestos, lead, mercury, and other chemicals that are released when structures burn. These materials pose serious health risk if handled improperly or inhaled. So take extra precautions and make sure you use the proper protective equipment, including goggles, gloves, and a mask, specifically an N95 mask. The next stage is the removal of fire debris, which is a multi-step process. The first step is hazardous materials assessment. This process includes fire inspectors going property by property to provide the necessary clearances for safe removal of fire debris. It's a service provided at no cost to property owners and an essential step before actual debris removal begins. Step 2 is a safe debris removal. The county will launch a debris removal program to assist property owners in safely removing debris. Detailed information about this program will be available soon. After debris removal is complete, the rebuilding process can begin. LA County is dedicated to streamlining permitting and building processes to help you rebuild your homes and communities. I know this process can feel overwhelming, but together we will rebuild stronger and safer communities in LA County. Visit recovery.lacounty.gov for ongoing updates and guidance.
So today what we have is a local assistance center, but even more importantly, it's a disaster recovery center that FEMA has brought resources to assist victims from disasters. You can register with FEMA out in the front and follow up with the assistance that you might need. But once you come into this room, we have all the county agencies and all the state agencies that can help you access the services that you need.
I have personnel here to help property owners whose property was damaged or destroyed by the fires. Under California law, if your property was damaged or destroyed, you're entitled to property tax relief.
When you come in and you talk to each of our agencies, you find out that there's the ways that we can help you. Can't make the whole picture whole, but we can at least put puzzle pieces together and so you're on the pathway to recovery.
My family, we lost our home in the fire. It's been very devastating. Here at Pasadena City College, they have a lot of great resources, more of a one-stop shop.
But in the long term, we also want to make sure that we meet the needs of residents who are displaced or who might need a little bit more special service that the county government or the state government and the federal government can't really provide. So it becomes a more intimate relationship with the nonprofits and people who have lost as they try to get back on their feet and try to get back to a normal way of life.
One of the things I particularly want to emphasize right now is that scammers and profiteers are already at work. Do not pay for anything, for any government service. There's nothing that these people can do to help you with your application more than you can get directly from us.
When you're ready, we're here to provide the resources that you need to start your pathway to recovery.
Thank you, county officials, for doing that.
afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us for this press event for the Palisades Fire on Monday, January 20th, 2025. My name is Thomas Schutz, public information for the Palisades Fire. We have a run of show. Essentially, we're going to have our incident commander. We'll have our incident meteorologist. We have City of Los Angeles Emergency Operations Center, FEMA Supervisor Horvath, and Malibu Mayor Doug Stewart. We'll also have many other agencies not listed there available for question and answer at the end. Go ahead and kick it off with our incident commander, Chief Everett.
Good afternoon, everybody. Assistant Chief Joe Everett, one of the incident commanders, part of Unified Command here at the Palisades Incident. Currently, we are at 23,713 acres. The fire is 59% contained. Currently, on the line, we have 5,175 personnel working. In that, we have 496 engines, 39 helicopters. In terms of our fire suppression, what we intend to do is strengthen and improve our control lines. We're still doing structure protection, and we're seeking and searching hot spots. As far as damage is concerned, we currently have 6,051 structures. Of those, 4,964 homes. In terms of evacuation, 24,600 people remain evacuated. Since yesterday, 3,827 residents have been able to return home. Currently, we have 27 teams doing damage inspections, and of that, 75% of the homes are complete and businesses. In terms of urban search and rescue, we have 15 teams working tirelessly throughout the Palisades Fire footprint, and they are 95% complete with their work. The investigation in terms of cause and determination is being led by the ATF, and that investigation continues. Our utility companies are working hard, coming in behind our USAR companies to make the area safe for reoccupying, and they continue to work tirelessly also. We have our public works working hard also, doing tree and debris removal. We're going to continue to work hard to try to get people back into those areas as soon as we can. Thank you.
Next up, Palisades Fire incident meteorologist.
Good afternoon, everybody. Rich Thompson, incident meteorologist with the National Weather Service, assigned to the Palisades incident. Well, weather-wise, as I've been talking about the last several days, we're looking for an extended period of Santa Ana winds across the area the next few days, and that's starting to begin right now. Out here, you can see it's getting kind of breezy. We expect those Santa Ana winds to strengthen later today and tonight through the day tomorrow. And with those gusty Santa Ana winds, we're going to have very, very low relative humidity. So that's accommodation for critical fire weather conditions. So therefore, there is a red flag warning still in effect for this area until 10 p.m. Tuesday. Now, later in the day on Tuesday, those Santa Ana winds are going to relax, but they're still going to continue blowing from the north-northeast all the way through Thursday. And with that, it's still going to remain very, very dry out there. So we still have the potential for critical fire weather conditions to continue across the area from Tuesday night into Thursday evening. So therefore, a fire weather watch still remains in effect for the area from 10 p.m. Tuesday evening until 10 p.m. Thursday evening. So again, we have red flag warning in effect through tomorrow evening, and then a fire weather watch after that through Thursday evening. So you're going to have those gusty Santa Ana winds and low RH and those critical fire weather conditions. Now, fortunately, by the weekend, we should see a distinct change in the weather, and there actually is going to be a chance of some light precipitation across the fire on Saturday and Sunday. So something we're looking forward to, and kind of keep that, monitor that very closely, see how that develops for the weekend. But right now, in the short term, though, expect these breezy and very dry conditions to continue through the week.
I'd now like to invite all of our speakers and representatives up to the stage. Next up, City of Los Angeles Emergency Operations Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Rick Pope, here on behalf of the City of Los Angeles Emergency Management Department. The city's Emergency Operations Center, you'll hear me refer to it as the EOC, remains activated at its highest level. On what otherwise would have been a city holiday today, representatives from all disaster-related departments remain in person at the EOC 24/7, around the clock, in support of ongoing urgent responses to the Palisades Fire footprint and recovery efforts for its residents and businesses. In addition to incredible mutual support assistance by emergency response and management colleagues from other jurisdictions in recent days, this week we're also being reinforced by many LA City employees just reassigned under the city's Disaster Service Worker Program, and this is to help backfill critical support positions. As our support of recovery and repopulation efforts continue, your one-stop guide for LA City residences and businesses remains the lacity.gov website. That's L-A-C-I-T-Y, all one word, .gov. That site will link you to everything from updated evacuation orders and recovery resources to public health advisories and warnings that can help you return home safely, as well as applications for FEMA individual assistance and other financial aids can be found at that website. In addition, if you or a loved one are experiencing distress due to the fires, please don't hesitate to ask for help. Our 24/7 helpline can be reached by calling 800-854-7771. That's 800-854-7771. The Disaster Recovery Center remains open today and every day until further notice, from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., and that's at the UCLA Research Park West at 10850 Pico Boulevard. This is a one-stop resource center with representatives from more than 75 public and nonprofit agencies who are able to assist residents and business owners. Since its opening last Tuesday, this disaster recovery center has been visited by more than 2,000 households, with many families returning for additional help once they've been able to access their damaged homes. And again, that's at the UCLA Research Park West. Again, for detailed information and links to recovery resources and more, visit lacity.gov and watch for updates on the city's @UnifiedLA social media accounts. The LA City family is here to support you during these challenging times and will continue to be there going forward. So thank you, and let's all stay LA strong.
Next up, FEMA.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michael Hart, a FEMA spokesperson assigned to the FEMA press office in Pasadena. First, let me continue to express our deepest empathy for everyone who's been affected by the recent wildfires. We do understand that these are challenging times, but rest assured, FEMA is here to support you every step of the way. Anyone who was affected by the wildfires should first contact their insurance company, and that next call should be to FEMA to begin their application process for assistance. FEMA provides a one-time payment of $770 to help cover immediate disaster-related needs such as water, food, infant formula, gas, and things of that nature. Additionally, survivors may qualify for 2 grants up to $43,600 each. One grant program, which is called Other Needs Assistance, that covers losses and expenses for things such as personal property, replacement or repair, medical and dental expenses, transportation needs, or funeral costs. The second grant for housing assistance offers help with home repair or replacement, lodging expenses, and rental assistance. You can register in 4 different ways to find out what FEMA assistance you are eligible for. One way is to dial 1-800-621-3362, and specialists are standing by from the hours of 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific Time daily. Or they can visit disasterassistance.gov or download the FEMA app and register there. As mentioned earlier, we also have the 2 disaster recovery centers, and they are operating 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And as mentioned also, they are operating today during the federal holiday. The first one is located in Pasadena City College and is located at 3035 East Foothill Boulevard. The second center is at the UCLA Research Park, as mentioned again, and worth mentioning, that address is 10850 Pico Boulevard. That's at the corner of Pico and Westwood. The disaster recovery centers also, as mentioned, offer a variety of services, including the SBA, not just FEMA. We encourage those impacted by the wildfires to complete an SBA application for loans that can help you pay for home repair and replacement, personal property replacement, small business injury, and those are all at competitive interest rates. Additionally, FEMA has over 150 specialists. They're deployed throughout the LA County, providing support to survivors at hotels, shelters, at the recovery centers, of course, at churches, and they're also knocking door to door, and you can find them at other community locations. And lastly, as a reminder, the current deadline to register for FEMA and SBA assistance, although we want you to register immediately if you have been affected, the deadline for registration is March 10th of this year. Thank you.
Next up, with the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, Supervisor Lindsay Horvath.
Thank you and good afternoon. We continue to experience a particularly dangerous situation today until tomorrow. Please get ready now. Be prepared to leave if you are evacuated. There may be power shutoffs as a result of these weather conditions. So while you have power, charge up now, charge up your batteries, and be prepared in case you do get that alert. Repopulation continued today as well for residents west of Topanga Canyon Road in the area behind the Fernwood Market to the 21,000 block of Green Bluff Drive. If you can wait to repopulate, please do so, as we are continuing several efforts with the intention of keeping you safe. If you must return, use the PPE that is being provided, goggles, N95 masks, body suits, gloves, and more, as wind-blown dust and ash advisory continues through tomorrow. Wind-blown ash may contain higher air toxic levels. Use an air purifier if you have one or AC, and stay indoors to the extent possible. You can also wear N95 or P100 masks outside, in addition to the other PPE that is being provided. Today, the governor issued an executive order to streamline emergency response and recovery work that will be led by the county as directed by Chair Barger and myself. Temporarily, this suspends certain environmental regulations for faster debris removal, protection against landslides, mudslides, and flash floods, which we know are a concern given the weather prediction for next week. It waives CEQA, coastal development permits under the California Coastal Act, fish and game code requirements under waterway rules, and allows for hill stabilization and a quick rebuilding process. This action protects life, property, our natural environment, and water quality. And the county is working in coordination with other local jurisdictions, including the City of Los Angeles and the City of Malibu. Cleanup will happen in several phases. The first phase will be led by the Environmental Protection Agency, which has invested $100 million into this effort and at least 500 personnel. Phase 2 of cleanup will also be led by government if you authorize the government to do so. There are applications available. If you prefer to go through a private service, you can also sign up with a private service provider so long as you adhere to the health codes that are being advised by the Environmental Protection Agency. County, state, and federal services are working in coordination on this cleanup, and you can find more information at recovery.lacounty.gov. Action steps that are being taken for people to be able to return to their communities and to repopulate as permitted include fire and utility safety and restoration to the extent possible, toxic waste removal, search and rescue operations, and damage assessment. All of that takes time. We know that people are eager to get home in many cases, and we are working swiftly to do so, but your safety is our priority, and that is the focus until further notice. Thank you.
Next up, representing the City of Malibu, Mayor Doug Stewart.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us again today for another update on the Palisades Fire. Over the last 2 weeks, we've come together daily to keep you informed and provide updates on as the situation evolves. Your patience, your resilience, and support have been vital as we navigate this difficult time. The Malibu Emergency Operations Center, the EOC, has been activated at Level 1 now for 14 days and remains ready to respond to any new developments. We're also working closely with CAL FIRE, LA County Fire, and the Sheriff's Department, who have tirelessly keeping resources deployed to protect Malibu. Their dedication is extraordinary, and we are incredibly grateful for their efforts. As we confirmed earlier today, the Palisades Fire has destroyed over 600 properties in Malibu. This level of destruction surpasses even the Woolsey Fire of 2018 and has left an indelible mark on our city. We know this news is deeply painful for our residents and underscores why it's taking time to ensure the areas are safe for re-entry. We understand how eager many of you are to return to your properties, but I want to stress the important point that even when it is deemed safe to inspect your property, that does not mean it will be immediately habitable. Hazards such as damaged utilities, compromised infrastructure, and potential health risk must be addressed before it's safe for anyone to live in these areas again. When re-entry is allowed, please make sure you are prepared with a valid photo ID that includes your name and physical address. And remember, private contractors are not permitted to enter mandatory evacuation zones at this time, and we do not allow leaf blowers or other items that stir up dust to be used in Malibu. For those impacted by the fire, we want to remind you that the Malibu City has a dedicated team stationed daily at the Disaster Resource Center at UCLA Research Park West. This team is ready to answer your questions, provide information, and connect you with resources to support recovery. In addition, we encourage Malibu residents and businesses to attend our town hall tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. at Malibu High School. This is an opportunity to hear directly from agency representatives about recovery financing, debris cleanup, insurance assistance, and more. If you have questions, this is the time to ask and to get specific answers from the experts. We also want to encourage everyone to support Malibu's local businesses. Shopping local is a simple yet impactful way to help sustain jobs and strengthen our economy. Every purchase helps our community move forward. Another important reminder is that the public health order for LA County remains in effect. This order includes guidance on ash cleanup, water and food safety, and precautions for handling potential hazards. For recovery information, visit recoverylacounty.gov. This website provides details on FEMA disaster assistance, debris removal, financial aid, housing resources, and public health updates, including damage assessment map and safety protocols. For Malibu-specific updates, visit malibucity.org Palisades Fire and follow our official social media channels. We know this is a time of profound loss and uncertainty for many of you. The scale of this destruction is overwhelming, and the road to recovery will take time. But please know the City of Malibu is here for you, not just to provide resources and support, but to help you process, heal, and rebuild your lives. Malibu is a community dedicated and defined by its strength, compassion, and resilience. Together, we'll face this tragedy with determination and care for one another. No one will face this journey alone. Thank you.
Thank you to all of our presenters and to all of you for joining us. We'd now like to open it up to questions or any of our folks up on stage. If you have a question, raise your hand. My partner, Andy Van Sciver, will bring you the mic. State your name and any of your questions, and we'll get them answered. Okay, seeing no questions, that concludes this press event. Thank you very much for joining us. This is our last regularly scheduled 3 o'clock press event. However, we will continue to send out updates if anything changes. You can also continue to follow for incident information, fire.ca.gov, and click on Palisades Fire. Thanks for joining.
This is Captain Sheila Kelleher-Burko with the Los Angeles County Fire Department. You're probably thinking, what does it take to fight a fire of this magnitude? This footprint is bigger than the city of Paris. When you put that in perspective, how much has burned? It takes about over 5,000 personnel. We've got 515 engines. We've got 66 dozers. We've got 115 camp crews, 44 helicopters, 60 water tenders. It's a massive operation and a massive amount of people here to do this. And if you look around base camp, you're going to just see virtually a city. All of Zuma Beach parking lot, for those that are familiar with Zuma Beach, is full of trailers, buildings, or temporary facilities in order to facilitate this fire. After the initial stages of the fire kicking off, it takes a minute to get this mobile city out here, but once it's here, it's up and running, and we've got a ton of support to really put towards this fire to help bring it to a conclusion, especially after the wind events that are coming. It is a virtual city out here. We've got bunks, we've got tents, we've got places to go to fix your equipment if it's lost or broken or if you run out of something. Again, tons of food, people are making sure we're very well fed. Now, firefighters can't fight this alone. We have a ton of support from other county agencies. We've got our ocean lifeguards, they're incredible with this. We have our Office of Emergency Management. We have all of our admin staff. We have just a huge outpouring of help and support from all the county agencies.